whilst I've got my washing machine spinning really fast in the background, just going to give you all a quick intro on what this week's episode is all about. We've got a lottery ticket theft, conspiracy theories, weird comedy gigs, childhood nostalgia, and one weird news story. Honestly, I had to give a pre-warning before I even started reading it. It was so bad. I was like, should I really do it? But it believe it or not, in this day and age, it still happens. We go into a confession as well about someone who secretly cashed their brother's winning scratch card. I know. A conspiracy theory involving old maps and hidden empires. A British problem that somehow made me emotional about things. And I've also been reading some of the weirdest things people have witnessed at a live comedy gig. Let's get into it as we always do. It's a crazy little thing called Love Dev, episode 223. Tartary. How is yo? How I sound like somebody who's from Dudley. How is yo? How am yo? How is yeah? I'm sure you're all fine. Me, on the other hand, I'm just going to tell you straight. Went to work yesterday and got whacked in the face, and now I've cut my eyelid. Above my eyelid, I managed to cut it. Now, I've had a cut there previously before from years ago, and it got stitched up. Now, the lad I look after, obviously, he was on one, whacked me in my face. I ended up getting a cut, and I knew it was bad from the way it was bleeding, but somebody just patched it up, put a plaster on it, said I'll be all right, and then I thought I could really still, go to the gym, because I really wanted to go to the gym. And as I was driving to the gym, a friend of mine phoned me, who also works with me, and he was like, I heard what happened. Are you all right? I was like, yeah, I should be all right. He was like, where you going now? I said, I'm going to the gym. He was like, nah, mate, you need to go to the hospital. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, you should get it checked out. I said, I've still got the plaster on, so let me peel it off and see how bad it is. So as I was on the phone to him, I took it off, and it started bleeding again. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that don't look good. So after work, I had to go to the hospital by my house. And luckily, I wasn't there that long. I was there for about an hour and 40 minutes, which isn't too bad. Normally, a lot of people are there for like 3 to 4 hours. So it was more or less a minor injury. Went inside, got seen to. Then I had to wait for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And then finally the nurse came, sorted it out. Job's a good one. She did say, I'm not sure if you can glue it because it's so close to your eye. And I was like, oh, God. Because, you think glue, easy, job done. Bit of Gorilla Glue on your eyes, you'll be fine. So then she was like, oh, you might have to have stitches. And oh, God. Don't really want stitches because it's a bit more visible. And plus, I told her I'm a comedian and I've got a gig. I don't want to be on stage. People will be looking at me like, he's been in a fight, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? If he looked at me now, you'd be like, he does look like he's had a scrap. So luckily, she agreed to glue it, and it was all hunky-dory. I was out there. I was happy. I was at home by 8 o'clock. So what, 2 hours in total, travelling there, in the hospital, getting home at 8 o'clock. I was annoyed, of course I was. I wanted to get home and just be with my family, but unfortunately, that didn't go to plan. Didn't get to go to the gym either, which I was hoping to do. But everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? Other than that, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I've got a busy weekend. I'm gigging in Sheffield at the Last Laugh Comedy Club. I'm doing the Friday night and the Saturday night. But by the time you've heard this, I've already done the gig. But luckily, we have got nice weather as well. So I'm not sure how busy it will be tonight. It's going to be interesting because it's a weekly gig. They have comedy every Friday and Saturday throughout the year, apart from Christmas, I think. I'm not sure if they take a break in August. They probably don't. So, yeah, I mean, the weather's going to be good. It's like, 27 degrees? It's going to be 31. It's hot, man. It's hot. We're going to feel it. We're going to be complaining about it, as we always do. That's what us British folk are like. But, you know what? It's going to be great for the garden. I finally get to wear my shorts and my sandals. It's been a long time since we have done a conspiracy theory. So I thought I'll read one out as usual. You know, from Reddit, obviously, on the Conspiracy Theories forum. Obviously, this one has been posted by somebody called Outrageous Novel. But before we get into that, we've got to play a jingle. What's real, what's fake? Conspiracy theories, what's real, what's fake? We don't know. Who knows? It's just a conspiracy. All right, let's get into it, guys. Instead of hearing me singing along, I think I just like the music. As I said, Outrageous Novel. His conspiracy is old maps show Tartary, but that doesn't prove a hidden global empire. Tartary. I had to ask ChatGPT, how do you spell it? Well, how do you say it? It's spelled as in tar, that you get from cigarettes, and then tari, as in tarry. And I asked ChatGPT, how do you pronounce it? He said it's a bit like saying Tartary. So it's Tartary. All right, Terry. You know, like somebody named Terry, and you go, Tar, mate, Tartary. That's basically how you pronounce it. That's not the conspiracy. Tartary, if you don't know what it is, basically it's a historical term Europeans used for roughly the Middle Ages to the 19th century. It was a huge, loosely defined area which covered parts of Central Asia, Siberia, Mongolia, and other nearby regions. It wasn't a real country with borders, technically. It was more of a all-named, used by Europeans land. So basically, I don't think anybody had it. They probably just thought, what should we call it? Oh, Teddy. Maybe there was a bloke there called Teddy, and he just handed the land over to the Europeans, and they went, Teddy. And he said, that's a great name. Let's call it Teddy. So as we said, the people living there included Tartars, Mongols. I think I said that right. Mongols. I'm going to get cancelled on my own frigging podcast. So now we know what it is, kind of. Let's get back to what Outrageous Novel is talking about. Now, Outrageous is saying that I've been looking into the Tartary claim, especially the argument that the old maps showing Tartary prove there was a hidden global empire that was erased from history. Now, if that was proof, that would just change everything, wouldn't it, in the history books? The part that seems to get skipped, says Outrageous, is that the old maps often used broad regional labels. Tartary appears to have been used by European map makers as a large geographic label for parts of Central Asia and Siberia and the surrounding regions. That does not automatically mean it was one unified empire, one advanced civilization, or a worldwide power that was secretly removed from history. To me, the conspiracy argument usually jumps from old map says Tartary to therefore there was a hidden advanced global civilization without proving the steps in between. The questions I think matter are, what did map makers at the time mean by Tartary? I think I've answered that one. Was it a political state, a region, or a broad outside label, asks Outrageous Novel. Do historical records from the region support the hidden empire claim? Why do conspiracy versions usually ignore the difference between a map label and a government? And are people confusing real history with modern internet mythology? Possibly. But it's one of those, isn't it? It's like, oh, I heard about this rumour. I don't know whether it's true or not. It's like the Atlantis. Was the Atlantis real? Is it really under the sea somewhere? Are people still living there like aliens? That's what I want to know. But let's get back to outrageous, because I'm going off track here. I'm not saying every old map is perfectly accurate, says outrageous, or that history is never simplified. I'm saying the existence of the word Tartary on maps seem to prove that map makers use the label, not that there was an erased worldwide empire. What is the strongest actual evidence people use for hidden empire versions? Beyond the old maps and photos of old buildings. No idea. I wonder if I should ask Chat LGBTQ and see what he says. I'm going to have to read all your questions again. Hopefully he'll break it down. Who knows? Does Chat LGBTQ know everything? I don't know. So number one question, you said grand old architecture. They're saying it's an impossible architecture. It's probably the biggest pillar of the theory. Yeah? Is that they're also saying there's no way people built horse carts and primitive tools. Now, he's proper going into it, Chat LGBTQ is. I just want him to, so I'll just say wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. That's what I've wrote. Let's see what he says. So in the end, the strongest evidence for the hidden Tartarian Empire theory usually comes down to old maps using the word, impressive old architecture, buried building levels, there's World Fair buildings, and claims of a missing or a hidden history. But none of those on their own actually prove if there was a global empire. I think no one knows, do they? It could be a rumour. Could be, like rumours spread. And then everyone kind of changes it. Because stories change over the years. Maybe that's what's happened. But if there was ever, 100% proof that there was a civilization called the Tartaries, and they're all just blokes named Teddy, that would literally change the course of history. Funny thing about history, it can go even into comedy clubs. There is a promoter called The Comedy Crate, which runs nights around the Northamptonshire district, so Milton Keynes that way and all the way around there. If you know Northampton, you know where I'm talking about. Now, they put up a post on their page on Facebook asking a question: what's the most memorable or bizarre thing you have ever witnessed happen at a live comedy gig? Now, the people that have posted on, replied to it, have been comedians and the general public, I believe. There are a couple of comments on this, so I thought, why not share them on my podcast? At least you guys that listen to this out there in the universe can go, really? Does stuff like that happen at comedy gigs? That is crazy. So I'm just going to mention the first name of the comedians, and then we'll read what people have got to say. So Kate Martin, I've just gave her full name away. Kate Martin said a woman in Kent walked out and asked for a refund because they booked two gays, which was her and Andrew White, who's another comedian. Obviously, we've been dating ever since. So can you believe a couple actually walked out because there was two gay comedians on the bill? They must be very religious. That's probably what it is. Donna has said, I've seen things, man. Certain comics getting a random lap dance in Warsaw. The only straight comic on the lineup telling the LGBTQ audience he hoped they all got AIDS. Wow! My husband performing on a truck stage with broken ribs. An MC laying his jumper over a puddle of beer for Ricky Balshaw, who's a friend of mine, to step over like he was Sir Walter Raleigh. A comic auctioning off things he found in a skip. That's brilliant. A sign on the door of the gig saying women aren't allowed in the bar. A fight breaking out at a Steve Hofster gig. And then that's it. That's Donna's one. Steve Lee, who's another good friend, said an elderly lady had knitted all the performers willy warmers and then handed them out mid-set. Another good friend of mine, they're all good friends of mine, Doug Carter, said he did the Comedy Cellar in Bracknell and everything was going smoothly until midway through the headline is set when a guy had a heart attack in the audience. Oh my God. I've run outside to phone an ambulance while people tended to him, and then when I came down to say they were on their way, he was standing up, talking to the few people left in the room. Turned out it was just a fit. So people assumed he was having a heart attack. That's hilarious. Ash Preston said emceeing an open mic in a pub in Warrington. Two men interrupt and try selling knockoff Rolex watches. And an expensive aftershave out of a sack. They even got on the mic and tried to do an impression of an auctioneer, but they were way too off their faces. When I asked where they got the watches, they replied, Widnes. A mate of mine is a cop in the area. He saw the post I made online and later updated me that they nicked the two blokes about 10 minutes after they left the pub. They gave fake names, but the fake names were real mates of theirs. That's funny, isn't it? So the guys that were selling dodgy goods actually gave real names of their friends. With bigger outstanding warrants. Oh, no, you're joking. So they dobbed their own mates in and they got arrested as well. That is crazy. Catherine says a random person walked in and asked to do a spot. The promoter agreed because why not? Before she could go on, she was arrested for glassing someone in there the week before. The police stayed to watch the show for a bit. That's brilliant. I might keep this going for a bit because there's so many comments on there and I'm sure it's only going to build and build and build and build and build. And we'll end with mine at the end of it if you fancy that. So let's just, because there's so many, we can't literally fit them all in. But that's what happens. There are some bizarre, really bizarre. I've seen a fight happen at a comedy gig just as it finished. It was two ladies scrapping with each other. I mean, they were, fighting over me, but don't let my wife hear that. Talking about don't let your wife hear that, confession is something that people don't really want to hear about, but this one kind of tickled me a little bit. Well, I say tickled. It's kind of surprised me. It's been posted by someone named Automatic Key. Their confession, I took my brother's winning lottery ticket and paid off my debt. Why not? So Automatic is saying about 5 years ago, when I was 24, happy birthday for 5 years ago, my younger brother was gifted with a $10 scratcher for his birthday. And when he was done, he said he lost and put it on the table for scanning. I scanned the ticket and it was a $20,000 winner. At the time, I was struggling in private student loans and needed a way to pay it off. So I did not let out a peep and proceeded to take it and turn it at the state office a few days later. When I asked where I was going by my family, I said, just going to visit an old friend. Let's call him Dave. The problem arises while I was on the trip. Dave was in hospital for appendicitis, and my mum found out and she called and asked me where I was. I said I was at Dave's house. You can see where this is going, says Automatic. After a while of talking and changing my lie, I was visiting an old ex-boyfriend who hung up and everything worked out. I walked away with around 16,000 US dollars and never told anyone. My little brother is now in college facing some pretty bad debt. I can't stop thinking about what this could have done for him. Oh, there's an edit. It was 4K in taxes and the 16. Ah, right, I get ya. So technically, she won $20,000, but because of the tax, she ended up with $16,000 from the 20 win, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, if your brother is in a really bad state, I think you should try and help him out if you can. Technically, you are stealing. It is your brother's money. I mean, what was he, 10 years old, did you say? I'm sure you said he was 10. Maybe I misread it somewhere. No, he's probably not 10 because he was 24 at the time. So maybe he was what? I'm taking a guess. He was 21 too. Maybe that age. Maybe you're quite close to each other. Oh, God, your brother's going through a hard time. At least you've confessed in a way. Could you tell your brother that you scanned his ticket years ago and he won? Do you know what? I think he's going to flip. I would flip. If my sister said that to me, or my other sibling, my brother, I would be mad, man. I'd be like, yo, that's my money. That was my ticket. How dare you? And did he get it for his birthday? He got it for his birthday as well. Oh, my God, that's even worse. I'm sorry, Automatic, but I don't know what to say. I know you was in a debt yourself and you used your brother's winning ticket to pay it off. But now your brother's, like, you know, he's facing bad debt as well. I don't know what you can do. Can you get a loan for him? Oh, God. Families are the worst, isn't it? Families really are the worst. I do feel sorry for you and your brother in a way. Would I do that to my siblings? Nah, I don't think I would. As the time is ticking, I wanted to try and squeeze everything in to the podcast, and I thought I haven't done a British problem in a very, very long time, so let's do that, and then we'll do a news story, and then you know the drill from there. So here it is, British problems. Yes, you know, man. What the hell can we do? Doesn't matter where you are in the United Kingdom, there's always some issue happening with us, isn't there? Along with somebody named Snoo Hesitations. They have a major British problem. Major. When I saw the title, I was like, no, I have to stop and I have to read it. What is it? People throwing away perfectly good toys. Why are you throwing away perfectly good toys? Give it to charity. But this isn't my problem. This is Snooze. So I'm going to read what they have to say. Just back from the dump and watched a guy throw away practically brand new, big, expensive toys. They honestly look like they were just came out of a box. I had a police car similar to one about 40 years ago, and I was absolutely obsessed with it. Watching him throw it willy-nilly, I love that, willy-nilly, into the crusher, crushed a little part of my soul. Ah, mate, I know how you're feeling, man. Isn't it? It's like, do you know what? I've got a beautiful leather sofa. Honestly, it's so nice now. I was going to tell you guys this and then I forgot, but I'm glad that you brought this up. I will get back to you, Snoo. So I've brought this leather sofa. Well, I haven't bought it. I've had it for years. And I put it on Facebook to give away for free. And I said on there, it's this, it's 6 foot summit by this, but it's quite big. You need a couple of people to come and get it. But it's free. I don't want to throw it down the skip. Honestly, I don't want to take it down the tip, down the dump. Please. It's too good to be thrown away. Honestly, if you sat on it, you'd be like, wow, this is so comfortable. Now, my missus hated it because it was leather and it used to get cold in the winter and then it would get hot in the summer. But it's a beautiful looking sofa, and it's only a 2-seater. But if somebody had a place where they could just put it in their house, I would be over the moon. I would know it's gone to a good home. Now, this morning, I've had to cut it up. I literally cut it up today, early in the morning. It's in my car as I'm speaking. So as soon as I've finished recording this podcast, I'm heading down to the dump to throw it away. But I thought I'd record a podcast. And now I feel just like Snoo hesitation. When I see that couch going into the skip, it's going to break my heart. And I understand what Snoo is saying. But we'll get back to Snoo. They're saying I don't have any kids, but I've worked with them in the poorest areas of Glasgow for many years. These kids have nothing to play with, so got all sorts of bother just to amuse themselves. I'm always a bit sad seeing so much decent stuff getting thrown away, but perfectly good toys in this economy cuts a little deeper, I understand. The recycling centre should have a toy section where charities could donate to them. Now, I do know my recycling centre does have it's kind of, they call it a recycle bin. I can't remember what they call it now. But it's basically used good stuff and they just put it in there. I don't know if it goes to charity or somebody can just pop in and go, I fancy that picture frame. Can I have it? And they'll pay money towards it, and then I think they give the money to some charity of whatever choice. So they should do that there, shouldn't they, Snoo? I don't know. Now, taking them to a charity shop would be just as easy. That's true. I mean, why didn't they just do that? Maybe they thought, I can't be bothered. I've got to go down to the skip anyway, so I might as well just get rid of it. That's what us British people are like. We like life a bit more simpler. But I'm glad that you've talked about it, because if you're out there and you listen to this podcast and you think, you know what, I've got a load of old toys and I've got a load of old clothes and there's nothing wrong with them, maybe I should donate it to charity. We always have British problems, eh? We're going to carry on and let's do a weird news story. You know, sometimes you find a story, a weird news story, right? And you think, nah, there's no way this could be true. No way. Not in this day and age. And then you read further on and realise, no, it is true, actually. I'm not quite sure how to take this story at all. I don't even know if I should be surprised or... in honesty, it's probably one of the most outrageous, weird news stories I've ever covered on this podcast. I'm going to give you a pre-warning. If you don't want to hear the rest of it, that's fine. You can end the podcast here, and you guys can listen in next week. It's absolutely fine. It's just a bit of a word of warning, that's all. Now, it is about a teacher, believe it or not. Do you remember we had the teacher who was twerking in front of the class? I think this is what baffles me the most about this story, although I haven't even told you what it is yet. The fact that it's a teacher. In the 21st century, in 2026, this still goes on. I can't believe it. So here is the title. You can listen to the title. If you don't want to listen to it anymore, I totally understand and I respect that. But I thought I'll give you a pre-warning. A Florida teacher got removed from a classroom after allegedly hanging a black doll by a cord in front of its students. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. If you want me to carry on, I'm going to carry on. I can't believe that. There's a picture of it. But I'm not going to give you too much detail. There's a picture of this woman. I don't know who's took this picture, but there's a doll. It's a black doll, and the cord is literally wrapped around. Looks like a TV wire, and the doll's literally hanging from the telly, like underneath it. Apologies if it's affected anyone, but I just wanted you to get pre-warned. I've never had to do that, have I? Those of you who listen to this podcast all the time, every week. I know who you are. I know what countries you're in. You will be thinking, Love Dev has never, ever spoken like this. He's normally quite jolly. As you know, he laughs and he picks a really good story. I don't know what made me pick this, but I thought, it is weird, isn't it? That's why we do it. Weird news. Let's dig in further on. An art teacher at a school called Barrington Middle, which is in Hillsborough County, was removed from teaching position, thank God for that, as she's being investigated for allegedly, so it's alleged, hanging a charger cord around the neck of a black baby doll and then hanging it above a classroom television set. I don't know, man. I don't know how to make this story, but, well, you know, because stories are stories, and it could be another... She probably wasn't even meant to do it. I don't know. According to reports, the alleged lynching was seen by a student whose parent is demanding that the teacher is punished for making her children feel unsafe in a school. The parent, whose child witnessed the act, alleges that Karen Savage, that's her name by the way, not even making that up, hung the doll in the class, and when the students questioned her about it, she laughed and said she had done it to get their attention. What? Who does that? These are children in a school. If you can't control a classroom, then you shouldn't be teaching. And if that is your way of teaching, come on, mate. Like what? Like seriously? You want to get the kids' attention by hanging a doll from its cord? Doesn't matter. Do you know what? It doesn't matter what colour that doll is. It could be pink, it could be blue. The fact that you've done that is just, oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I feel sorry for the kids. You'll never forget that, would you? Now, the parents say her son recorded what he saw in class, and then he later showed it to his family, prompting the mother to report it to the school officials. Several other parents have also filed a written statement following conversations with their children. Now, the families are urging the Hillsborough County Public School Professional Standards Department to take disciplinary measures against Savage, which is her surname, more like a savage attack, for creating a traumatic experience. See, that's what I said. It is, isn't it? For a child to go back to their parents and go, you wouldn't believe what happened at school today. That they're obviously traumatized or they're in shock. You know what I mean? This is not a classroom for management. This is hate being displayed in front of children who are supposed to feel safe at a school, says one parent. As of now, the district has not released any statement to the media regarding the matter. The teacher has been suspended. Further investigations. That teacher's lost its job. If there is video evidence of her doing that, and you can just see, I mean, there is, because there's a picture of it. And I can't see the video. There is no video. But there's a picture of a woman who's quite smartly dressed. And there's a picture of a doll hanging from its cord. Unbelievable. That's why... you wouldn't, like... You don't hear this on a mainstream news channel, do you? It's weird how a mainstream news channel won't post this. But you'll find it on an article somewhere. Mental. Absolutely mental. Right, guys, on that note, I'll better get ready for my gig in Sheffield, and I've got to go down to the Skip to get rid of a beautiful leather sofa. I know, I can't believe it. And don't forget the Glee Comedy Club for Griff, my good mate who passed away. That is on June the 2nd in Birmingham. And then the same week, it's my 1-hour solo show at the Rick Mail Comedy Festival in Worcestershire. So please... buy tickets if you can. If you can't buy both of them, buy one of them. I don't mind. As long as you're there, guys. You know what? Be good. I'll see you next week. Take care. Ta-da.